Good evening. Hope you've been having a good week so far. I think for most of us, we're about 2/3 of the way through it. Just like how I'm about 2/3 of the way through the Forza Motorsport 7 campaign here. Like about one or two more cups away from winning a domination championship. So let's see what else we gotta do here. All right, got one more. So complete any one of these, and I'll move on. What should I do? Roughly one I have cars for, so just go for the open. It's like your one freebie cup, but yeah, let's try something else, shall we? Forza GT.
This
We'll go
Forza
here.
GT division draws from the top GT race leagues in the world. From the wheels up, every car has been modified for tight, competitive racing.
That's so. One of these should I pick to race as? Kind of like this one. I forget that's a custom livery, if that's just like one that they supplied. So I know Forza likes to give gift cars all the time to have special liveries. I don't think I spent as much time just seeking out liveries for cars in Motorsport as I did in Horizon. I think it's specifically because I don't usually buy cars in Motorsport. It was like, at least for what I'm racing, stock cars usually do well enough. But that's just me. Or just pick one already and get out there. Here, we'll go with this one. Boy, I gotta admit, even though we still got well, I still have 2 days left in the work week this week. But from what we've gotten so far, sure does feel like a whole week already. Like, man, just had what was it, three conferences filled with all sorts of crazy announcements. Right, first we had the Nintendo Direct, which brought out all sorts of cool announcements. Let's see. One that came off the top of my head, Pikmin 4, confirmed that was in development. Hopefully that won't go the Metroid Prime 4 route, where they don't say anything about it for the next few years. Though I guess if it's anything like Bayonetta 3, where they finally go, hey, here's some more stuff and a date, or Zelda. Yeah, the new Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, now called Tears of the Kingdom. Gonna be enjoying that next May. Oh, I can start the race. Let's go. There's some other stuff that stuck out. A lot of farming games. I think I saw a lot of people say a ton of farming games. I just realized, I think forgot to move my layers. I'll probably have to do that once I wrap up this race. Anyways, yeah, farming games. There's a Square Enix one, Harvestella, which has about as Square Enix of a title as you can expect, but seems okay. I downloaded a demo from Switch. Haven't played it yet. I do want to try it out. I did hear some good things about the demo, at least. And we have the Story of Seasons, which, well, I mean, that's a farming game series, so expect from there. Dream Factory 3 getting a remaster, special edition. Pretty cool. And then a couple others, right? Or I count them on 2 hands, surprisingly enough. Oh, and then there's the Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Finally got out of Wii jail. I'm eager to pick that up and try it out. Oh, Fire Emblem Engage. Cool concept. I wish they picked a better subtitle. I know people like to talk about the main character designs, just how they're like super colorful and they feel like I think I saw someone do an image edit where they took like the male main character from Engage and like stuck him over a screenshot of Apex Legends to make it look like they were a VTuber. Thought that was pretty funny, and doubly so. We know that the artist for Engage also designed a couple VTubers. So yeah, it's funny stuff. Still needs a better subtitle though. Engage is like super Japanese, right? It's like that word that they use because it sounds really cool to them, and I imagine for some people it's like, yeah, okay, you kind of just throw it at it. Man, there was something else I want to talk about. What else was that the direct? Oh, if I remember, I'll probably return to it. Oh, right. All the Octopath, the second Octopath Traveler game. I have yet to play it first. I've heard good things about the battle system. Less good things about the story, but I'll probably play it anyway because the team that made Bravely Default made that game, so it should be okay. I also went on to make Triangle Strategy and Various Day Life. If anything is confirmed from seeing those titles, I think the team should probably hire a better title writer, and probably should also purchase a second font, maybe. Like, well, Octopath Traveler is probably an okay enough title, but the font, though, it's the same serif-style font with an underline and two words kind of on top of each other. It starts... If you didn't know any better, you'd think they were all like some sort of anthology series or something like that. Games they put out are usually good, but yeah, titles could be better, both in wording and in font design. And then after the Nintendo Direct, that same day we had the Sony State of Play, which was about half as long as the Direct. Maybe not as many big deal announcements, but there were some good ones in there, like Tekken 8, which, after Tekken 7, had some fantastic gameplay, really long-term support. Interested to see where it goes. Hopefully the story mode will be done more justice. The story mode of 7 was kind of meh. The acting probably could have been better. It's weird. It's like after Mortal Kombat 9, like, hit it out the park with their story, and everyone praised it so much. It's like every fighting game has tried to do that kind of sort of same style storytelling where you get like short cutscenes interspersed with fights. But doesn't seem like any other game has quite managed to hit the highs that Mortal Kombat 9 did. Like, not even Mortal Kombat has managed to match Mortal Kombat 9 in just the way to manage to tell the story very well. Anyways, apart from that, there was also, Like a Dragon, Ishin, was it the remake of the feudal Japan style Like a Dragon, because I guess that's what we're calling it now. It's not Yakuza anymore, it's Like a Dragon, which is appropriate because the Japanese title translates to Like a Dragon. Anyways, it's great that we're finally seeing that come over at least the theme and the story of it come overseas, being localized. I guess after seeing the success of 5, 0, and pretty much every Yakuza game after that, they probably feel more confident in bringing that kind of stuff over. So that's great. then what? We had the Rio ga Gotoko showcase like earlier today, EST, and that just brought all sorts of big deal announcements, especially if you're like a Dragon fan, right? First you had the Kiryu side story, which will detail what happened to him I think between 6 and 7. And after that, Like a Dragon 8, finally continuing the tale of Ichiban, and also bringing back Kiryu as a side character. I have mixed feelings about that, but more about that later. Perhaps the biggest surprise, Judgment and Lost Judgment on PC. Like, I remember when the articles came out about how everyone thought a PC port was unlikely, largely because of the backroom dealings and views some of the higher ups held. Apparently, that there was enough of a shakeup in the companies that now they just shadow dropped them. They just were like, oh yeah, Judgment coming to PC like right now. That is just wild. Like I thought that might have been just stuck on PS4 forever, but I'm really glad it isn't. And I forget, is Judgment on Xbox? Because if it isn't, then I could see that happening. I mean, the Yakuza games made it over to Xbox, so if Judgment is not on Xbox, or at least not on Game Pass, I could see that happening. But yeah, just a lot of really good things coming out. I think I saw some people joking that this was to make up for E3. Like this was like E3 2 basically, which I could probably see, because I think there's some still shows that are still going to happen. Like I think Xbox is supposed to have another conference this week, their TGS conference. So we'll see what kind of stuff they have to announce there. Still funny. Still people will bag on Xbox to this day. Like, it's making me wondering why are they trying to cater to Japan? Because Japan doesn't buy Xbox. And I just had to think, man, why not try to reach out to everyone, right? Even if certain regions might not have as many fans as the rest of the world does. Certainly wouldn't be a good thing to leave them ignored. Like, could you imagine if Microsoft instead decide, yeah, we're not going to release the Xbox in Japan? Imagine some folks would have a different opinion of that, right? You'd be thinking, these people, all they care about is their money. They don't care about their fans. And here they are caring about their fans, and see, people still stereotype Xbox users as being big meatheads, being jocks, brat folk, sorority folk, who don't care about gameplay, quote unquote. They only care about flashy graphics or manliness or violence or things like that. And that kind of blows because at least oops, sorry about that. I can appreciate Microsoft trying to make inroads for other types of folks. I mean, you still got your Gears of Wars and your Halos and your Forzas, obviously, but I don't know. I think there's enough people out there who could probably appreciate things like, say, Yakuza, Octopath Traveler, Dragon Quest being playable on Xbox. It's like, that's great, right? It's more options, right? It's like, if Xbox ain't your thing, you still play Yakuza, Dragon Quest, that kind of stuff on at least appreciate, throwing people who might only be in the Xbox ecosystem a bone. I mean, even Xbox is throwing their users a bone, right? A lot of people have said already, but it seems like their prevailing strategy is like not about the consoles anymore. They don't care about consoles. They're pretty satisfied as long as you get Game Pass, right? If all you own is a PC, you get PC Game Pass, and that'll give you a nice rotating list of games to go through. Of course, that comes with its own disadvantages, I imagine, but I guess that would be dependent on how much you want to contend with the Xbox app and perhaps the Windows Store. But if those two things are something you're fine with, then Game Pass is pretty cool. It's what they want. Incidentally, I have Judgment and Lost Judgment on PlayStation 4. Because that was the console came out on first, and back then I didn't really have much confidence in Judgment coming anywhere else because of the circumstances surrounding it at the time. So I know I made some fair progress in the Judgment. I think what stopped me was wasn't even the main story. It was just a drone race. I was trying to do the hardest difficulty, and I kept not placing first overall. I should probably just shake off the notion of trying to 100% it and just get through the main story at that point. Especially since I have Lost Judgment to get through. I hear that one was pretty good as expected. So yeah. Judgment and Lost Judgment. Just another 2 games on my gigantic backlog of games I should be playing. Probably doesn't help that I have a new game that I want to play this week. Freedom Planet 2. Like, my goodness. Sequel, obviously, to Freedom Planet, but I think they announced that game, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. Of course, we were all excited back then, and just had no idea it was going to take this long. I remember, right, they had the art, they had the sprite work, they even announced voice actors for the characters way back when. And then, the group kind of slowed down with updates. They even went silent for a little while. Alright, let me adjust the layers here real quick. Peekaboo. There I am. Alright. But yeah. I remember just starting to get worried, right? If someone wants to delay the game, that's completely understandable. Especially in this day, with people kind of rightfully railing against crunch and all that, right? I'm gonna take some extra time off to polish the game, make sure that the team doesn't get burned out because of it. A commendable thing, but that sort of understanding can only last so long. I want to say, right? After a certain point, people are going to start getting worried that maybe there's deeper problems. And who knows? As far as I can tell, there hasn't been much word about any behind the scenes behind Galaxy Trail, the developer behind Freedom Planet 2, but I remember when they first announced, hey, I think we got a release date, September 13th, 2022. Look forward to it. I remember seeing that several months back and I hope they can meet it. And lo and behold, yesterday, Freedom Planet 2 becomes available for sale. So I picked that up right away. I bought it, downloaded it. It's sitting in my Steam library, and I got that scheduled for Saturday. I am so ready for it. I've been waiting 7 years for this. Played through Freedom Planet 1. That was a fantastic game. Just a great, speedy game with can see the Sonic explorations, but they managed to add enough of their own twist. The story had some pretty high moments in it. Had some great highs. But I am looking forward to seeing all the new stuff that they have for Freedom Planet 2. And the soundtrack. Oh my god, I could go on about the soundtrack for Freedom Planet 2. It is fantastic. It's actually the kind of music that you probably wouldn't mind listening to in a car, right? I feel like that's the case with like most game soundtracks. You can pop that in a car on a long drive and just enjoy it while you're on the road. But Freedom Planet 2 especially had some really good tunes in it. The boss battle theme especially was just was a good intense piece, very fitting for kinds of fights, the scale and the gravity of the fights you got into. Yeah. So yeah, that's just me saying I'm gonna start playing Freedom Planet 2 on Saturday, and that'll probably be like Saturday will probably turn into a temporary long play day as I go through Freedom Planet 2, because Freedom Planet 2, yeah. Alright, looks like first place is gonna play hard to get. I have to start getting rough with them if they don't let me pass them. Ooh, and there were like two other announcements. I was pretty excited for from the Nintendo Direct that just came to mind. Rise of 3, which I guess is how the trilogy, the latest Atelier trilogy is gonna go. And we're gonna focus on one character for 3 games, which, hey, that's from what I've heard, Rise of kind of blew up in a way, so it probably makes sense that they continue focusing on that character. But if the Atelier series are going to go by, Rise is going to wrap things up, and then we'll start a new trilogy with the next game. Only to be met with like Rise of 4 probably like 10 years later or something like that. Anyway, there's also Symphonia Remastered, Tales of Symphonia Remastered, which the only Tales game I've played through from beginning to end actually was Vesperia. That was a long time ago. I keep meaning to pick up another Tales game, but I never do. For some reason or another, I've bought a lot of Tales games. I even bought like some of the costume DLC, just never started, which I guess is a bit of a shame. Considering how much I've invested into it, but yeah, one of these days I will try another Tales game. Again, so Tales games are on my gigantic stack, my gigantic backlog. As long as Atelier, I only played Totori any significant amount. I think I mentioned this already. I want to at least play the Dusk games because that series has one of my favorite Atelier characters, which is a weird thing to say. It's kind of weird, right? Anyone find it weird? Anyone feel weird when they have a favorite character from a work they haven't personally consumed? Right? You have a favorite character from, like, say, a TV show, or a TV show you don't watch, or a video game you haven't played, a book you haven't read. Because I like Shalot from Atelier Shally. Like, I like the characters, the idea of the character, and I kind of like the design too. But I have not played Atelier Shally, and like that would be my primary motivation for going through Dusk, just so I can finally play Shally and say I've played Atelier Shally. Like, like the fog tech definitely feels very reminiscent of foggy mornings when I used to drive more often, just driving down the foggy roads. You can barely see in front of you. I am curious as to if there will be anything else. If there will be anything else that will surprise us before the end of the year. Because apart from Tokyo Game Show, is there any other big game event apart from the Game Awards where we could see like your big ol' announcements? Boy, I gotta say, since as far as announcements go, I have to say my favorite reveal, my favorite announcement of like any sort of game would have to be the reveal of Joker coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I just the way it opened, right? It's kind of like it opens with the Persona 5 style intro. You see Joker just like sliding, doing the fancy moves. You see the stylish animation and everything. And most people are thinking, all right, so it's a Persona 5 thing. Okay, cool. You hear the VAs talking. You hear the other characters off screen going, boy, what could Joker be doing here? Thinking, oh yeah, it's a Persona 5. And then it kind of just like hits you a sack of bricks in the face. Right? You see the card flip over. You see that wax seal with the envelope. You see the envelope with the wax seal. You see that seal that's in the shape of the Smash logo. Right? They don't even have to say anything. They just show the wax seal. And then you just know. You know. It only just hits you in the face. Holy shit. Joker is in Smash Brothers. Just the way they do it too. It's like a reverse twist, right? You come in there thinking, oh, this is going to be like 100% Persona 5 thing, but no. Turns out, Persona 5 was only a tiny part. This is actually a Smash Brothers announcement. That sort of thing. And sadly, it's not. It's the kind of thing they never replicated, because every other character announcement after Joker kind of opens with a Smash thing. So it's like, yeah, this is a character coming to Smash. But the way it just came out, and the way I remember I was watching someone else just streamed Game Awards that night, and then they saw Joker was Joker, and they just lost their minds. And That seemed to be a common reaction between among people who saw that. The way to pull out the rug from under you. I just love the way to do it, right? A very pleasant surprise. I'd say the one character, at least for me, that comes close to matching that, Banjo-Kazooie. I like the way they did that one too, especially the fake out at the beginning where it's instead you see Duck Hunt, and they're like, ah ha ha, you got me, and then Banjo-Kazooie drop down from the sky, and then do their thing. And I think the best part about that is they have Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, K. Rool just cheering the announcement, because that's like what the audience is probably feeling as well. So it's like the same way when they revealed the envelope and you hear An just go, "What?" That's probably what everyone yelled when they saw Joker was coming to Smash Bros. Just, "What?" I have to say, the whole gag of having the audience, having the theater in which the conferences contain to start to get a little screwy because hacker stuff or unexpected, right? Pretending that's all unexpected or something, starting to become a little commonplace, right? It's like when you see it happen these days, it's like, okay, yeah. Aha, they're pretending that this is a surprise. Oh no, the game is invading real life. Someone's hacked into our system and wants to show us a special thing. It's starting to get a little old. I don't know what they could move on from. I'm guessing once we see something else, some sort of other theater shenanigan pop up. We'll see that get repeated a little bit. I'm still thinking about the Joker reveal. How long has it been? It's been like what, 4 years since Joker was announced. I still like to go back to it and just replay that moment. Right? When the card flips over, you hear that loud thump, and then An and Ryuji are just freaking out. Just I can only imagine if anything in the future would be able to match the excitement level I felt when I saw Joker come to the Persona 5. I have to say, the only thing, perhaps the biggest thing that would probably get me on the same level is if they announced like a new Burnout game or like Burnout Remastered. Yeah. It wouldn't take much. All they have to do is just, play like a music from one of the old games, or just show flames, or like maybe one of the classic cars, one of the iconic cars from the series, as it were. That would get me, and then show a couple scenes of some high-speed gameplay, and then flash the title. I'd jump out of my chair for that. I feel like it'd probably be likelier we see like a Need for Speed Most Wanted remastered or something like that. I think we're about to come on to 10 years since Most Wanted 2012 came out, which makes sense. But boy, it's nothing that makes you feel like you're getting old. And until when someone talks about a game like, oh yeah, that was such a classic, boy, such an old retro game. You're like, what? Wait, no, that's not retro. It only came out in like mid-aughts. Oh no. Yeah. Right. It's like, yeah. Going back to Burnout. Talk about Burnout 3. Oh yeah, what a good retro game. Oh, that only came out like 17-ish years ago. Yeah. Almost old enough to drink. I had the same thought about Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. That was a 2004 game, if I remember correctly, and yeah, that was still another one of those games that occupies I have fond memories of. Yeah. I think I've heard rumors. That I don't know, something about how they people have found like hints that some PlayStation games might be coming to PC. And I'm not talking about like just dropping them on like Steam or whatever, right? Like with God of War and Horizon and what have you, which is great, mind you, but I'm talking about like a full-scale push, like, you know, like how there's an Xbox app. I think they're planning on something like that, like a whole PlayStation app for you to download and play PlayStation games on your PC. That would be pretty neat if only means I would get to play like Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper properly on PC without having to resort to other methods. Yeah, I'm probably revealing a bit of my age here when I talk fondly about PlayStation 2 games, but yeah. You know what the funny thing is? At least in my family, getting a PlayStation 2 was like a complete fluke, right? Because the way PlayStation 2 entered my life, it wasn't even like via me. It was like during high school, for my sister's class. They had a drawing. At the end of the year. I think one of the prizes that you could get from them was a PlayStation 2. And well, since I'm talking about it, you can see where this is going. My sister wanted a PS2, so we had ourselves a nice shiny PS2 that we got to enjoy. And I think that introduced, like, you know, all my siblings and me into a whole new world of games, right? Because before then we're like primarily Nintendo folks, so getting the PS2 and being able to getting introduced to titles like Ratchet, Jack, Sly, Final Fantasy, Devil May Cry, games of that ilk. It was definitely pretty cool. Definitely one of the things that got me to you know, broaden my horizons of gaming. Like, could you imagine? There's probably like an alternate universe, which whoops, rewind that. I was saying, in an alternate universe in which my sister did not win a PS2, and I just instead became like a massive gaming elitist who thumbs their nose at every game not produced by Nintendo. And don't get me wrong, I still love Nintendo, right? Mario, Odyssey, fantastic. Mario Kart. They've all been great. Not a dud in that series. Smash Brothers, obviously. Fantastic fighting game. Zelda, great immersive. Definitely full of life. Metroid, great exploration. Very, very moody, oppressive, atmospheric type of series. Splatoon, fun, colorful, third-person shooter. Animal Crossing, super relaxing. I don't think I already mentioned, but I always like to play Animal Crossing games for at least a year. Used to see everything that game has to offer for a year. But yeah, things like being introduced to PS2 that have allowed me to enjoy so much more. You know what? Even before that, right? Before my sister wanted PS2, actually. Because the console we had, prior to that was the Nintendo 64, actually. And, we played Ocarina of Time, we had GoldenEye, we had Pokemon Stadium, things like that. Banjo-Kazooie, Jet Force Gemini. We enjoyed those. They were fun. And then I remember parents, just one day asking, "Hey, we're thinking about getting one of the next generation consoles. Next generation at a time. Do you have any that you want?" Of course, back then I was like, "I want the GameCube. Got Nintendo games on it." And then my father. Right, my father vetoed it. He's like, "Nah, I think we're gonna get an Xbox. I'm gonna get an Xbox because it's got DVD. It's got DVD capability. We can use it as a DVD player. So it'll be like two appliances in one." And yeah, we got an Xbox instead. Which again, I appreciate it broadening my horizons. I don't know. Halo. I actually enjoy Halo. Believe it or not. Also played games like Jet Set Radio Future on that. The Time Splitters games, I know those are on the PS2, but I played Time Splitters 2 and 3. Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect on the Xbox. Burnout 3. I played that on the Xbox. I know that was also a PS2 game. The Dead or Alive, right? Dead or Alive 3, I believe, was the one on Xbox. I played that as well. Probably some others, but yeah. As much as I lament not getting a GameCube until long after the fact, I guess I can at least appreciate that getting an Xbox and a PS2 before a GameCube perhaps allowed me to see a greater variety of games, right? Allowed me to understand that there's, a lot of cool stuff out there. It's honestly one of the things I hate. Like extreme frugality, right? It's like there comes a certain point where, yeah, saving money is important, but after a certain point, if you're saving money, your money can't be like the only priority you take. Because after a certain point, the quality of the products you can get with what you pay for just dives off a cliff. Usually I'm willing to, it's more about reading the product reviews, reading other people have bought the thing, and seeing what they think of it. Seeing if they think it's a good value or otherwise, or reading over the product itself. and then making a judgment based on that. Right. That's one part of frugality. Another part of frugality is, you know, or sorry, you don't know, but I gotta try harder to not randomly insert things when I'm trying to fill air. But anyways, I know some people. There are some people who are really stingy about, or really hesitant on buying things because they always want to wait. Oh, if we wait, maybe it'll go on sale and we can buy it for like, we could buy it for cheaper then. I could pay fewer dollars on it, and that is subject to the law of diminishing returns. Especially imagine at some point, because the people I'm talking about, they'll even say this when an object is like, or a product is already discounted at like even 50 or 60%. They'll go, oh, but it could get even cheaper. We should wait a bit. And there's always two risks you carry with that, right? It's like one, price doesn't go down, or the sale ends, then burnt goes back to normal, or everyone else scoops up the product and you're left with nothing. So after a certain point, the desire to save money hits a breaking point, right? Because you know, if a thing costs $5 and it's already discounted by 50%, so that means it's like $2.50. You can imagine further discounts are only gonna save you so much more, right? Even if they discount it to 75%, that's like only another $1.25 you're saving. After a certain point, you have to wonder if like waiting a long time for that theoretical extra discount is worth that minuscule amount of money you're saving. Although ironically, another thing I like to say is that, well, you could probably save 100% by not buying it all, not buying it at all, which is also a very valid tactic to go, right? That might be a good reason to also hold off, right? If the thing disappears, your desire to buy it just like vanishes. Like, well, I guess I missed out. Although that might also bring out another dangerous action, which, since you can't find it in stores, like, all right, now I gotta scour eBay or another auction site or you know, one of those trading sites. But I try to stay away from those, right? Most of the time, I'm only gonna try to go for like things that I normally wouldn't be able to find in stores if I'm gonna scour eBay for them, or they have to be like much cheaper, like, you know, trading card game packs. Right? I usually buy those by the box. This is a one-lap track. This is going to be a lengthy one. Just have the stands and everything. Ooh, there's like flower arrangements. So those are... Oh no, those are just seats, but still, that's pretty cool. Just, I wonder if there's like actually designated sections for people from certain locations to sit at. I would assume not. I'm assuming that's just there as a decoration. Like I always said, it's probably a good thing I'm not a professional driver in real life. trying to take these turns legit. It's not something I'm able to do. Oh man. Oops. Alright, we'll try that again. Probably didn't have to do that, but nah, I didn't feel too good smacking my way through that. I do like these chalk drawings. I wonder if I wonder what the history behind that is. Like, it's like before the race, do they just let some kids out there draw on the road a bit for fun, or is this like professionally done? One of the old cons I used to go to, one of the things they had, like, in the years that I went before I stopped going there, they always had a guy, kind of sectioned off in the artist alley. He would be drawing on a blackboard type of surface. He would be making a chalk drawing. It was kind of fun. Kind of fun watching it shape out, right? You see like the outline, and you see like the coloring, right? You see the colors, and you see everything come together. Kind of neat to see. Must be wild. Just to have a large scale painting, large scale drawing like that, and being able to draw something that looks good on a large piece of blackboard type material. Kind of envy artists because they're able to make cool looking things. I'm not exactly an artist myself. I'm not much of a drawer. I can make good stick figures, but that's pretty much it. Actually, reminds me of an old story from my childhood that I really, I think might have been one of the reasons why I kind of got turned off of art. I don't know, my parents always liked to sign my siblings and me up for all sorts of summer programs. They wouldn't even say anything. They'd just go in one day. It's like, all right, everyone, we're gonna go to the thing. They didn't say anything about it beforehand, right? They would just go, oh yeah, we're just gonna, right, upend you from what you think is gonna be a relaxing day and just force you into a program of sorts. So one of the things they brought us to was like an event in a nearby mall where a painter was there, and he talked about paintings. I was very young, so I don't remember too much more about it, but part of it included painting on a giant canvas, and the program concluded, right? All the kids left, and my mom, right, in their infinite wisdom, decided, nah, we're gonna stay here, right? We're gonna stay here, and we're gonna watch this guy the paint for however God knows how long. We're gonna make you paint, and we're gonna, right? And didn't think much of it back then, but looking back on it now, I realized that was an incredibly shitty thing for my mom to do. It's like, one, forcing us to stay there for hours on a thing, especially since we were little kids, right? Program lasts maybe an hour. We stayed for, I want to say, all the way till night, right? The thing ended in the afternoon. We stayed till night, and This is mom thinks she's doing her kids a favor, and unwittingly saddling this painter with entertaining these kids who now want nothing more than to just get the hell out of there. They don't want to do anything, but this mom thinks she's educating her kids about the greater world or something. But I don't know. I remember coming home super annoyed by it because I lost an entire day to something I didn't even want to do. I feel like that was the story of my childhood. Just being drafted into doing things I didn't want to do. Like I didn't even have a say, right? It'd just be like, all right, summer. It's time to kick back, relax, and I wake up. Mom goes, "Yeah, okay, get in the car. We're gonna go drive for an hour, and you're gonna participate in a science program, or hey, we're gonna shove you in the subway. I'm gonna participate in this summer program here." Or the worst part, right? The worst things they would do is just shove an application in my hands. Just, all right, fill this out. You're going here. Like, I don't want to know. Fuck you. Right? You're going here, whether you like it or not. Like, the only time that actually worked out, right, was when they signed me up for, like, a computer science program. And that was because I was interested in computer science to begin with, right? Still didn't like that, didn't got drafted into it, but at the very least, they paid mind as to what I liked and what I would be willing to do. Yeah, for them it was never much talking out about kind of thing, what kind of path I should take. It seemed like they wanted to try to decide the path for me. And I don't know, that just looking back, I realized probably it just annoys me to no end. God, 9 minutes on this track. This is a really, really long one. I can see why it's one lap. Holy cow. Yeah, anyways, that's enough backstory talk. There's another phrase that I kind of happened upon on my travels through the internet. The one... Oh, wow. Hey, there it is. Almost 10 minutes for a lap. I'm glad it was just one lap. Anyways. The one... Oh, right, this is the last race. Okay. We'll go through the celebrations and I'll continue my talk. Yeah, there we go. And we have hit the point threshold. We're moving on, folks. Nothing left to say. Nothing left to say, announcer. I get it. I'm just too good now. Maybe I inspired the announcer to go out and become a racer himself. Alright, let's get ourselves that Ferrari. Ooh, wow. Pretty far along the path to getting a BMW 1.
You've taken the domination championship.
Yeah.
Now, only 2 more hurdles, and you'll be holding the Forza Drivers' Cup. But first, you have to win the Masters Championship.
I realized there would be golfing in this game. What's next? The US Open? No, that's tennis, right? I'm kidding. Go. This is a Nissan and a Domination
Masters
Championship racing suit.
Consider this a shakedown to get you ready for the Forza Drivers' Cup itself. Use this championship to sharpen what you've learned so far. And don't let up out there. You got this.
Thanks, disembodied voice. Alright, we need 28,000 points. 6,000 points per event. The small ones give 1,200. There's 4 of them. So I get 4,800 points during the events. That leaves me with 23,600 left to get. Yeah, which means if I do these 4 and then do another 4 of these cups, that will let me move on to the final one. I won't get that done tonight, but we can start making inroads, right?
America's
Start with
ultimate single-seater
IndyCar.
championship is the world's fastest race series. Here, aerodynamics are vital, given that racers can hit speeds of 220 miles per hour when they aren't navigating banked ovals or passing other drivers.
Oh my god, they're all X-Class. I guess I'll pick the funniest looking one. PNC Bank. Oh my god. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, nuts. I forgot what I was talking about before. What was I on before we won that championship? I was talking about programs I was drafted into beforehand, but that was before it came out. Great. I'm gonna go through the VOD later on and see what I lost my train of thought on. Okay, so let's just drive through Long Beach. Maybe a good drive will help clear the air, clear the mind a little bit. Whoops. Ooh, boy. Alrighty, we see a couple of wipeouts. Yeah. Wow, a lot of people driving the PNC Bank Indy cars. Oh boy. Looks like our top 2 are a bit more formidable this time around. Don't know if it's just a difficulty thing because I'm 5 championships in, or if this is a racetrack thing. Sorry. Yeah, I just Forza Horizon that car. Alright. Didn't quite make that turn. Try that again. I have to go a bit slower. Maybe follow the racing line this time. Alright. Probably too slow, but better safe than sorry, right? I swear to God, this topic that I invariably dropped because I wanted to watch the end race championship sequence. It's gonna haunt me for the rest of tonight. Well, guess I will start talking about something else. I noticed Humble Bundle had a pretty interesting bundle. Like, normally it wouldn't be something I consider, but I was like, think it was like a Unity bundle. Contained some interesting things for Unity. At least a couple of things stuck out to me. Was a couple of features. If I remember correctly, the Vroid program. I think you can export the models into Unity. So I think I picked up the bundle. Perhaps hopes that at least for the things I was looking at, maybe I'll come in handy for tweaking the Vroid model and making it more VTuber-like. I mean, I could probably just use the model right out the gate, but I wanna try to give it a bit of a touch up. To that end, I've also been looking at a site called Booth. Apparently, that's a pretty good site to go to if you're looking for custom-made like 3D assets. Yeah, just looking over for some things that I would want to add to the Vroid model. Try to make it more my own. I had to look up some tutorials on what exactly I would need to do to export Vroid and make it into an acceptable VTuber model. Because I've been using this Pinge PNG for a few months, and I think it would be a bad idea for an upgrade. At the very least, when I go seek out additional things for it, being able to have an established character on hand would probably make things easier for anyone I commission for additional assets, like overlays or animations or a logo, anything of that sort. Alright. I'm not gonna rewind that one because we're on the last lap. And I feel pretty confident that I'm gonna make it to the end. At first, I don't think there's only like 1 or 2 races where I was seriously challenged. But yeah. Of course, this is totally because of the difficulty I'm racing on, but yeah. I'm beginning to think maybe I should bump it up at least 1 notch. See how the races are then. Maybe give it a go. After racing dozens of races on kind of easy mode, probably. Maybe I've developed enough awareness, enough skills to try out 1 step up. Yeah, I think I'll try the next race on a difficulty up, see how that goes. For now, I will take my 14,000 credits. So close to the next level. Alright, let's see, setup. Where is driver tar difficulty? Oh. Alright, well I can change it before the race, so this isn't too much of an issue. Indianapolis. Indiana. That's where it is, right? We'll go with above average. And, we'll keep this on here. Alright, let's see how this goes. Let's see how I can fare against drivatars that are of above average skill. That moment when you see every car suddenly brake, and you just like whip ahead of them. Oop. A little too fast there. Okay, that was a much longer rewind than I expected, but all right. Slow down. Keep on the inside. Oh boy. All right. 5 laps, so track's pretty short, I assume. All right, we're in 3rd. This curve here is going to be the end of me. Then again, since I can't get him on a straightaway, turns are probably my best bet. Alright, going into that too hard. Tried to do it legit, and they remain uncatchable. Alright, it's gotta be... Okay. This is getting ridiculous. See reverse rubber banding is starting to take effect, and they're starting to mount an insurmountable lead against me. Alright, you know what? Can I quit the race? Best lap time required, you will lose the results of your current race. Yeah, you know what, yeah. Here. Alright. Look at me throwing the white flag already. Okay. We'll just stick with average for now. Maybe this is just a track in which the current set of AI just does better on. Maybe I'll try above average difficulty on the next race and see how that goes. Okay. Man, these Saiso cars are kind of nuts. Or at least I'm not used to car physics where you crash into a car and they just kind of stick onto you like glue, and you find yourself just trying to tussle with them. But they just seem like attached to you at the hip. Yeah, screw it. I'm just gonna cheat my way through there. All right, now I'm gonna go legit. No more shortcuts from me. Oh my god. Okay, this has to be the track. I don't... Well, average difficulty. These people are going ahead. Times don't last very long here. That's why there's 5 of them. Like, barely a minute. And then change per lap. Whew, already 60% of the way through the race. I wonder if that red smoke is always... I wonder what it's like to kind of sit next to that smoke. Gotta be interesting. I imagine it can't be a very good thing to inhale colored smoke. I mean, not only is that, like, you know, smoke through your system, it's also whatever coloring they use to make that smoke that color. Probably inhaling too much of it probably be harmful to your respiratory system, I imagine. And again, there's probably some people who are totally into that, right? They're into the sights and the sounds and the smells of the event. No, my older brother, I don't know, he started kind of going out to these kinds of events in real life, like local racing events around his area. He kind of enjoys going with a couple of his friends there. He talks about how interesting it is, how cool it is to see cars racing in real life. And it does sound like fun. I'm glad he's enjoying it. Enjoying being able to do what he wants to do on his own schedule. Man. I always hear about people, right, grown-ups, people who have left the house, they're always talking about adulting, how adulting is hard. Always complaining about a lack of freedom. And I can only imagine, right, if you're a kid, right, if you're a kid perhaps, and have quite like an upbringing like mine, someone who perhaps a bit more freedom of what they got to do and what they were able to get being an adult, just having like a tons of restrictions suddenly placed on you, right? You're limited by your money, by your time. You gotta work, you gotta pay bills, you gotta feed yourself, because there isn't anyone else who's gonna feed you, or clothe you, or repair stuff that might have broken. But for someone like me, for someone who perhaps had a lot more of their schedule decided, who perhaps didn't have much of a say in what they got to do or what they were able to get, adulting is like a breath of fresh air, right? Sure, I gotta pay bills, I gotta go to work, I gotta feed and clothe myself, but the rest of the time I get to do whatever the heck I want, right? You can only imagine, right? If I was not living by myself in my own apartment right now, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to stream myself playing video games. I wouldn't be on Twitch right now. Yeah. I enjoy being an adult, that's what I was saying. There's a degree of freedom that I have when I get to decide everything I want to do and not have to be on rhythm with anyone else. That's just it's nice. It feels real good. Looks like we're coming up on the end of this race. Take our 700 SP and go. Jeez, I can only imagine trying to 100% this game must be a bit more of a pain. If you get anything like less than first, you'd have to repeat the entire series just to get those points you missed out on. So it's probably highly recommended to just let any event you don't get first on, just restart right there, so you can get that out of the way. You know, if you're the type of person who wants to 100% thing on the first go. I have to admit, I do envy the folks who perhaps don't quite have that perfectionist mindset, who don't you know, start getting a little anxious when they don't have you know, 100% of the rewards they can get on the first go. Right. It's like, I got second. Yeah, whatever. Just not worry about that. That would be nice to have. Let's get our BMW. It's a free one. It's a Ferrari FF. All right. It's 3 of 6. Ha! We're back here. Really. Brickyard Speedway. I'm guessing we're having a different variant of the track, though. Preferably one that's less twisty and turny. Let's see. Let's see what we got in store this time. Oh, maybe it's the reverse track. Average difficulty, and find myself getting up to them a bit of a challenge so far. Already, I can see first again pulling way ahead of the rest, relatively anyway. Yeah, all right. Try that again. Oh my god, this is the race. It's nothing but high-speed shenanigans. Okay. Alright, depending on how close I can get in the next lap or two, I might... This one I might have to... God. See, I can't pass worth a damn. I just seem to swing into the opponents all the time. But if this keeps up, I just might have to put up the difficulty down even more, so I can one-shot this. It's supposed to be average difficulty. I know it's Championship 5, but why are you uncatchable? Yeah, it's like one of those things where you just have to race perfectly for a really, really long time to even get a shot at coming close, and you mess up once. Yeah, there's all that build up you had getting back into the lead. Just it's all gone. Don't feel great. But that said, that's not the case here, because I'm very slowly approaching second place here. Ugh. Halfway done. If we keep this up, we just might be able to catch first. Wait a minute, I think this might be the first time in a while that they just had like a pure speed track like this. Amusingly enough, an oval track. Aha, look at them, just turning left. This is all race car drivers know how to do. Ah, I'm just kidding. Alright, that's it. Going way inside. I know I probably shouldn't be doing this. It's not race regulation, but I don't care. Game isn't dinging me for it, so I'm gonna do it. Finally. All I have to do is not screw up. The final 3 laps, and I will be good to go. Alright, we're gonna try that again. We swung out a bit too far. Whew, alright. Winded quite a bit, but... Alright. Back around. %75 done. This track is a pretty fast lap time. I think I saw. See, lap race 6 of 8. I think probably means, let's say each lap is about 40 to 50 seconds. Might be even shorter than that, actually. Alright, yeah, 40 seconds. Around 40 seconds. A little bit more than 40 seconds, but... it's still a pretty short lap time, all things considered. This is like the baby park of Forza. I don't know why, but... speaking a lot seems to bring out the burp. Brings out a lot of burping in me. Sorry if you hear that through the mic, but I wonder if it's just a side effect of talking so much. Just air just like collects within my lungs, and then my body just wants to just get it all out after a bit. And it's just the same idea as, like, you know, when you're a kid. You swallow a ton of air into your stomach, and unless you do like the biggest burps you've ever had in that day. I do remember one time I did that, and I wasn't able to get it out, and I just ended up with a real bad stomach ache. Thankfully, it all became better when I was able to burp finally a few hours later, but you know. Until then, it was a pretty excruciating few hours. Oh, okay, that wasn't so bad once I finally got in front of everyone. Whew. All right, 50% done. Take our smattering of credits and move on. Just that the next car reward's gonna cost 200,000 credits after the discount, so yeah, I should probably stop looking at the shop. I've got more racing suits than I know what to do with. I ain't gonna use any of them. I already got the racing suit that I want to use, which is the same one I've been using the entire time. It's this kind of the limited sale mentality you see, and like, oh man, if I don't get it now, I might not have another chance. Just better buy it, even if I don't ever use it. At least I'll have it. Kind of take care of that brain worm. Get it out of your mind. Thankfully, this is just in-game currency we're dealing with here, so at most I'm just gonna miss out on a car purchase if I don't have enough credits. Or, you know, if I spend too frivolously and end up running out of credits due to buying too many racing suits. I could probably overtake a few on the next turn. Sorry. Alright, 6 to go. Oop. Once again, first place proving to be a bit of a tricky prospect here. Alright, well, we still have 2 laps. We can probably catch them up. Just have to play a bit more aggressively, perhaps cheat, as it were. Ah, dang it. Sometimes I overestimate how well a car's gonna turn and end up taking a turn badly. Whew. Another thing that I've been looking forward to, actually. The second season of Fall Guys. Because, as all the previews have shown, it's going to be space-themed, and some of the new stuff they've shown off I'm kind of interested in, especially the season pass rewards that they have. Looks like the crossover costumes that they've showcased so far. The Xenomorph from Aliens, Spock from Star Trek, and Hatsune Miku. That kind of threw me. Like, just straight up. You can dress up as a Vocaloid. You can dress your bean up as a Vocaloid, if you so choose. You pick up the Season Pass, and play Fall Guys enough. You too can be Hatsune Miku. And I had to admit, that's probably enough to get me back in for another season. Don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed Season 1. It's pretty good. I like the new games they introduced. Kind of dislike that all the good stuff, right? The full body costumes, the emotes, the victory animations are now something you had to buy with real money. But I guess it's not much to say, especially since I had 2 years to get those otherwise with in-game currency, and I only got a few of them. But, yeah. Part of me wishes they'd only made, like, the new costumes, they only monetized the new costumes, and maybe leave a handful of the old full bodies available for purchase with in-game currency. Especially since, they've even become stingy with in-game currency. You only get that through dailies. You can't just like play shows and get a handful of it anymore. It's just through like quests and events and stuff, which kind of blows. But I guess that's one of the things they have to do. It's a pitfall of free play. right? Even if it was something they should be doing, just the things we lost along the way. Little lamentable. Even so, the crossovers they've been able to introduce are wild, right? It's like even before the game went free to play, they already had stuff like Jungle Book and Nightmare Before Christmas. Whoever saw that coming? Jungle Book of all things. I would much sooner expect like a more main, a series that's been in the public eye more, like Frozen or something like that. But yeah. But since then, we've seen WWE, we've seen like King of Fighters, Assassin's Creed. Just man, it's makes me wonder what other crossover outfits they've got lined up. Nearing the end here. After this, we'll have another race in the bag. Yeah. All right, 2 more to go. Just move on to the next race. After we collect our rewards, of course. Oh man. Yep, give us a Ferrari FF. Or another 200,000 credit. Oh boy. Oh, that's gonna get swapped out. Probably something even more Oh. Alright, a bigger discount, which will make the next car free. Whew, alright, appreciate it, game. Throw me a little bone here. Let me save up some of my credits. That's another thing I've been playing quite a bit for a bit now is Disney Dreamlight Valley. I think I might have brought this up already, but I kind of fell into that game pretty hard. I think because of the character creator. It was a pretty extensive one. I managed to create a character that was like pretty satisfied with, so I was willing to play as them and willing to go through this story. Surprisingly compelling one. Like, it's kind of fun seeing the crossover of the characters and the ways they interact. Like, even the quests they have usually have you crossing over with characters from various series. And at least, very least, the starter characters that you can recruit and can have in your village. It's a pretty good mix of old classics and current name folks people would be familiar with, so in addition to the super classics like Little Mermaid's Ariel, Ursula, even Prince Eric, you got Moana, you got the Frozen crew, Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, and then characters from some other works that probably are out there to draw in other audiences like Wall-E and Mother Gothiel from Tangled. But yeah, the current group they have out, pretty interesting mix of interactions, and the game. Well, I can see why this was eventually going to become free to play. This is very much a collect resources type of gameplay. That's how you progress in quests mainly. Collect resources that let you make things, and perhaps those things will be what you need to complete quests also. Honestly, the funniest thing about that is, like, for some reason, the game has an energy meter. This energy meter is like, you know, there's energy meter that you will see in various free-to-play games that dictate how many actions you can do. It goes down when you do things like fish, mine, dig up holes. What makes it really weird is that restoring your energy is as free as just returning to your house. And returning to your house is pretty easy. It's not difficult to do at all. Which makes me wonder why have the energy meter in there at all. It feels superficial. If it just feels like unnecessary. Because the way it works, you might as well just have the freedom to do whatever you want. Just cut the middleman out, cut the energy bar out, and just let people just, you know, wander wherever. Because the game also has, like, you know, levels, and what have you, and the levels do increase your energy meter, which would make more sense if having energy meant anything, and restoring energy were more difficult. If restoring energy were more difficult, there'd probably be a different reason to be disappointed with Dreamlight. I mean, I played it through Game Pass because they had the Founders Edition available on there for Game Pass, so I was able to play it that way. So, you know, I only had to pay like a Game Pass subscription for it, so perhaps not impacted as much, but I can imagine if you had, like, you know, the traditional energy system that you had to wait to restore, or, you know, made food items especially difficult to get. Probably be a different reason to be disappointed with it. But for now, energy just seems unnecessary. I think I read that, alright, the Disney Summit happened, and at least for its relevancy to Dreamlight, they announced a Toy Story realm coming pretty soon, which I guess makes sense. This game's technically in early access at the moment, so yeah, they're probably gonna at least regularly put out new stuff for people to explore. And so I am curious as to how the story will progress with the introduction of the new characters. I believe Buzz and Woody obviously are going to be part of the Disney characters you can bring back to the village. Might be one or two more after that, but we'll see. It's another race in the bag. I think we got one more after this, right? Yep, one more. Alright. Maybe after this we can do a couple of the one-off races. Alright, time to finish this. Got another cup in the bag. You know, I've always wondered, since when did it become a tradition to, like, have a drink, right? Just put, like, some sort of drink inside of a trophy and just have the people drink out of it. Like, imagine these days they probably sanitize that trophy to 6 ways to Sunday, but man, imagine the amount of you know, drink you can put inside a trophy. It's probably more of an excuse to you dump it all over on top of the person. Seriously, 43 out of 600. Is this race like worth 1,700 points? That's kind of nuts. Anyways, let's get those 1,700 points, shall we? Oh boy. I'm really gonna get into the weeds for this one, but I always find it interesting when, you know, sorts of Grand Prix type of races, the ones that don't have a scoring system that's just simply, you know, 8 points, or 1 point for last place, and then plus 1 point for every position above that. So, like a 6-person race, it would be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8-person race, it would be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Something like that. I always find it interesting when sorts of Grand Prix events try to modify the scoring system, try to weight it in one direction or another. Right, like in a 12-person race, you might see like first place get 20, second place get like 15, third place get 12, something like that, or like an 8-person race, first place get 9, second place get 6, third place get 3. I almost feel like it doesn't make too much of a difference in the end. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're not finishing in a high position for most of the races, you're probably not gonna finish first overall. Granted, there are cases in which, you know, a person who finishes second and third in most of the races ends up winning the whole thing overall because they were doing so consistently, but even then, it feels like it doesn't change too much in the grand scheme of things, right? It's like, I feel like simpler is better in that case. Just do the kind of the downward points awarding sequence by 1. Just do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, for example, not like 12, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 0, whatever. Doesn't feel like it makes that much of a difference in the end, if you math it out. Probably up to point rewards, at least weighted towards, because, you know, more points, higher numbers, makes things look better. That's my guess anyway. Of course, you get things like Forza Motorsport, where your placement finish probably determines the amount of SP you get, which then determines the overall progress through the championship. And the way later races seem to be, the way the championship seems to be weighted towards the later races, since those are worth more points, is interesting, to say the least. Again, top positions proving to be quite a nuisance this time around. I can only imagine what they're going to be like in the Forza Championship. Probably the top 3 that would become the suddenly speedy folk. Of course, doesn't help that I'm smacking into them. If I could race a bit more cleanly, I could probably keep up a bit better. But fortunately, I'm not that well versed in professional racing. That's it, I am closing in on first place again. If I just cut some corners, I'll probably be able to beat them. Alright, there we go. Oh, I'm gonna completely overshoot that turn though. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna get over that curve, but I get close. I'm gonna get close to getting past him at least. Alright. Ah, there we go. Just bumping everywhere. should we at least have this one in the bag? Good old GoPro. I remember when those blew up, and it seemed like everyone was doing like those sorts of head-mounted camera videos. My favorite ones are those sort were the ones where people would like put them on their pets. My favorite ones of that one are when they would have a GoPro camera on top of a pet's head, and then their owners would go hide somewhere, and then the pet would play hide and seek with their pet. It's kind of fun, seeing from the pet's perspective where they go first and what they look for and what they're looking towards. You know, it's pretty cute when they find their owners, and you see them leap up or start being really happy. Right? Owners are like, "Oh yes, you found us. Good job." That's always fun. Yeah, some of the other fun GoPro type of videos I've seen perhaps involve like hang gliding in the sort, where you see them just going through the air on a hang glider. You get to see that sorts of bird's eye view. I always find that cool because heaven knows, I would never want to hang glide in real life. That just seems way too harrowing for me. But being able to experience it through a video, I can handle that much at least. Yeah, I'm a bit too much of a whip to take on just extreme sorts of activities. I'm just not. I just wouldn't be able to. I don't think my mind or my stomach would be able to handle that, fortunately. Alright, here we go. 6,000 points in the bag. That means I gotta do 3 more championships in the one-offs. It's again completely silent victory screen. Yeah, I don't think the announcer's coming back. They went out for milk. Still waiting for that milk. One step closer to my free Jaguar. Alright, maybe I'll do 1 or 2 of these one-offs. 1998 Mercedes-Benz against a field of identical vehicles. Ah, is this a pass challenge? Maybe it's a passing challenge. Find out soon enough.
The Germans take their engineering,
nope, it's just
and
a
their
single
technology
race.
And their quality very seriously.
Finish
So
in the top
any
3.
good German car is going to have all those facets. They take how a car works and the pleasure it brings you very seriously. So you're going to get all of those factors wrapped into a good German car that is going to be well built. It's going to be stylish. It's going to probably have a motorsports history because they love their racing, they love their competition. But it will also be fun to drive and something that the driver will connect with.
Compelling words. Me, I just need top 3. Alright. Let us go 5 laps. Whew, we're gonna be here for a bit. Ah. Alright. 24 cars. Already ahead of 22 of them. Ooh, okay. Braking on this one's a bit trickier. I have to brake much earlier than I usually do. It won't matter too much. Jeez, how was that in this race I was able to pull ahead of the pack way more quickly than I did with that other series? Makes me think that perhaps the rubber bandedness of the AI just depended on the performance index of the cars. Especially since that last race, I was racing like 999 X-Class cars. That just meant the rubber bandedness was off the roof, and so catching up to first place took longer than it would at, say, like S1, S2, A class, things like that. Okay. Again, have not quite gotten the grasp of braking. Okay, I recognize that yellow can. Was that like a Pennzoil bottle? I've seen those in auto shops when I visited those. Okay, maybe not Pennzoil, but yeah, it's definitely those types of bottles of oil that you would get to fill your car with when you need to refill the oil or swap it out or something like that. That's one of those things you would get at the auto shop. I would know when I had a car and I drove it. Changing out the oil was one of those things that I did. I guess it's one of those the useful things my parents taught me. Probably going into well-worn territory here, but it does shock me, to read about some of the things that some people don't know how to do, especially since those are the kind of things that I knew how to do at a younger age, right? Things like doing the laundry or washing the dishes was something I had to do when I was young, and looking back, I can appreciate being taught how to do those because. When I see the people who are completely clueless on how to do that, it's kind of surprising, right? You think, at the very least, it's something they would learn, like, at least late into their teenage years. Like, something they would be taught, right? Since you're gonna go off and live by yourself, here, we'll show you some of the things we've been doing for you, but you're gonna have to do them yourself now. That you're gonna be on your own. At least something like laundry and dishes. And at least appreciate that I know how to do those by myself. Lap 3 of 5. All this driving has kind of made me want to perhaps look into, look into subjects related to automotives, perhaps a little bit. Everybody's learn about tuning cars and maybe like customizing them, for lack of a better word. I might be slightly interested in perhaps learning more about how to work on a vehicle in some way or another, like modify it, or at least know more about its inner workings. This is one of those things that my parents tried to impress on me, but I don't know. On top of everything else they tried to impress on me, I kind of started pushing back. So yeah, I think that's the thing that maybe some people have to realize sometimes. You can't force someone to can't force some people to do something sometimes. You just kind of have to let them do it on their own, right? And when that happens, don't get annoyed. Don't be mad that it took them longer than you wanted them to get there, right? Because everyone has their own pace. Everyone has kind of like their own way of just getting into things. You can't like rush it for better or for worse, because sometimes that'll just that might burn them out faster. Or it might overload them with too much information at once. Gotta let them learn at their own pace. Doesn't make them better or worse. It just means that they have their own way of doing things, and that should be fine. You know, maybe if they don't express any interest in it, that should be fine too. You're not lesser people for it. My God. Yeah, I've spent 7 minutes in this race already. I think this might be the last event I do for tonight. Whew. Jeez. I think we only got through, what, 2 championships? And this single one-off event. This rate. Well, I won't be able to get through the Masters Cup until the week after next. After that, it'll probably be like another 3 weeks before I wrap up the Forza Championship. Oh, thank goodness I could plow through those tires. Think about it. If I need 28,000 points, the events give 6,000. How many of these one-offs could I ignore and still get 28,000? No, I can't ignore any of the one-offs. If I want to just do 4 cups, I have to do all of these. Which again, they're one-offs, so they're not too bad. But occasionally you get a race like this one, where it's like, sure, it's one race, but you're gonna spend 10 minutes on that race. Whew. I guess this is how sim racers be. I should probably know that already. I've done like 4.5 championships. Well, 4.25, really, but yeah. I'm familiar. I should be familiar with this. I should be familiar with the structure of this game. I have to admit, the reason I'm playing Motorsport is because I kind of want to get started on working on a proper vtuber model. I don't want to start anything big until I've got a vtuber model. So you know, once I have something that I can use, then maybe I'll switch off Motorsport and start playing something else. I know I want to get to split second. That's probably what I'll do once I finally establish myself and finally move off of Forza Motorsport 7. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying this, but probably need to step away soon if I hopefully can get a VTuber model ready. At least I still get a good amount of credits from this. Ooh. Experience for my Jaguar. This come to me. This Indy car. No, only 125,000 credits. I can afford to spend that. I get another reward car from this one off. Alright, give it to me. Yeah, 1998 Mercedes-Benz. Boost to my collection score. Alright, well, that's everything. I think that will do it. Made a little bit of progress into the Masters Championship. Another 3 cups and 3 more one-offs, and now I'll be able to take on the Forza Drivers' Cup. So, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back on Friday to continue my trek through Ayuden Chronicle Rising. I'll see you then.